Welcome back to Shadow Man Remastered. Last time, Mike realized that he wasn't going to make much progress in live side, so he has to continue on in Deadside, as we're about to head on into the first of the temples belonging to the Sisters of Blood. So, new kind of environment and new enemy type on the way. But before we look at that, it occurred to me that we haven't been keeping up with what's happening in the prophecy. Because actually, this is moving along. We have gone... Oh, there are the sisters. We're about to meet them. They put the Dark Souls in the Govi. They're not going to be happy about Mike taking them. I mean, you think that maybe we might be on the same side, but they're not thrilled about this. Let's look at where we are now. This was the beginning. Dendy calling on the Shadow Man. Here's Jaunty opening the gates. Mike is opening the doors on the Path of Shadow. He's breaking the sister's spell on the Govi, taking the Dark Souls into him. Oh, but look at this. The Shadow Man falls to the 5 in the world of men under the light of the sun. So this is where we are right now. We went to New York, tried to fight Avery Marks. We were not able to defeat him. I mean, we didn't die, but technically we fell. We were not able to succeed in our mission anyway. So this is where we are right now. What's coming up next in the prophecy? The sorceress falls into a deep trance. Her power is exhausted. A shadow falls upon the world of men. Legion took the Dark Souls onto him. The end. Well, once again, does not sound like a good ending. But the next thing that's going to happen is Nettie will collapse. Her power is exhausted. We have not reached that yet. What we have reached is the Temple of Fire. Let's hear what Mike has to say about that.
Spoken of in whispers at the Deadside margins, in the hushed and shivering tones of the lurking, lurching revenants. These ancient places, blood temples to the lower, where the Dark Souls did find their secret corner, hidden by the sanguinary sisters steeped in voodoo lore.
Right, so the Sisters of Blood put all 120 Dark Souls into the Govi and figured, there we go, job well done. The forces of evil will not be able to get them. I mean, it turned out that they were not entirely right. The Govi have protected the Dark Souls until now, but as we found in the experimentation rooms, the forces of evil have figured out a way to get the Dark Souls out of the Govi. And here's a new kind of door. Have we seen this before? I'm not sure. But it has a symbol of fire on it. Even though we have weapons that shoot fire, we cannot open this up yet. We need something else. So, another kind of door that we do not have the key to. We see that a lot of times in Shadow Man. We'll swim down this pool in a little bit. First, let's see what else we can find here. Little graffiti on this wall, maybe by a prior Shadow Man who came here with some purple chalk. Left his mark here, possibly. It sounds like these temples are hidden away in the corners of Deadside. None of the wailing souls that we see, I guess, end up wandering there. Too difficult to find. Here's another one of these fire doors. And here is a door that we recognize. But this one's level 5. We can't open that yet. We're only at, yeah, we're at 3. We're only at level 3. And another fire door. So many things to come back to once we have the proper items. Not just here, but elsewhere as well. And over here is a bloodfall. It's a really tall... Oh, well, our camera's underwater. It's a really tall bloodfall. And as we said last time... Oh, hello. As we said last time, once we get the point, we will be able to climb those. So even though we've been getting Dark Souls and increasing our level throughout the game, we haven't really been increasing our mobility, our ability to travel places. We haven't gotten any power-ups or anything regarding that. But that is about to change as we head to the Temple of Fire. We are going to get something that will help with our mobility. A special power-up. Now let's start swimming. There we go. It's a hole in the foundation here. The sisters really should get that fixed. Alright, we're inside the Temple of Fire. One part of it anyway. Oh, and 2 more blood falls up here. Large area, and we can see 3 Dark Souls, or 3 Govi. 1, 2, 3 on those ledges. How many are there in total? According to this, there are 11 Dark Souls in the Temple of Fire. And here are 2 of the sisters. They're asleep right now. They're all asleep. Just, you know, waiting for the day to come when some fool comes in here trying to steal the Dark Souls. But who would do such a thing?
The sisters awake.
It's us. The answer is us. So you'd think we'd be on the same side and might be able to talk this out, but I don't think the sisters are interested in hearing Mike's reasons for taking the Dark Souls. Not after all the work they went through putting them into the Govi. Two paths we can take. Let's take this one up here because we want to break these doors. Find more buttons to raise more platforms so we can head up in that large room that we just saw.
The sisters awake.
Yes, they are. And you can see what we're doing there. We got to find the buttons to lift up those platforms so they make a pyramid. So we can head into the next part of the temple. So the sisters, as you can see, are a new enemy type. They're quite different from the enemies we've been fighting previously. They can fly. Well, the gold ones here, they seem to stay on ground levels, but there are others that will fly around. They shoot energy waves at us. Those energy waves can bounce around. Sometimes they can home in on us. And they can be quite dangerous if there's a lot of them at once. And the format of what we're doing right now is just find a chamber. The chamber will have platforms or maybe some sort of platforming puzzle to do. Figure out how to get to the top where you can press a button. And that'll raise up one of the levels of the pyramid. You see how this is going.
The sisters awake.
I don't think I've mentioned it, but as I've been playing through the game, you may notice that frequently, when shooting enemies with a shadow gun, the enemy will stop and maybe like like that. They'll get stunned and they'll stop attacking. When that happens, if you don't land a final shot with the shadow gun, they will recover and get some health back. Usually, it doesn't happen that much, but if you're fighting a big crowd, that can be a problem with maybe the other enemies getting in front of the stunned one so you can't deliver the final shot. That last shot thing doesn't happen with the other weapons, the voodoo weapons, only the shadow gun. And then there are some enemies that can only be killed with the shadow gun. That hasn't been an issue yet. But some special enemies can only be killed by it. Time for a little shimmy. Mike does love his shimmying. So this temple, Temple of Fire, is the first of 3 of the Sisters' Temples. Now, of course, we already have been in a temple, the Temple of Life, but there are no sisters there. And the Temple of Life's reward is to increase your life meter if you get enough Cadeau. The rewards in the Sisters' Temples, something different entirely.
The sisters awake.
We don't necessarily have to kill them. We could just run out of the chamber, but they will follow us into the main chamber. And it might be a bit of an issue if we get a whole load of sisters flying around that one big chamber. We could fall down to the bottom level here, but let's take a look around first. Okay, we haven't gotten any Dark Souls in this temple yet, but there is a Dark Soul above us. We can't reach that, though. We can't jump and get it. We'll have to find another direction to get there. But there is one Dark Soul that we can get right here.
Dark Souls are mine.
And that leaves 10 left in the Temple of Fire.
Got it. The sisters awake.
They do, but the pyramid is now completed. However, we still have to shut off the flames at the top of the pyramid, because we can't walk through them. I think an upgraded sister is approaching. So we've been fighting the gold ones, but now a purple one is coming our way. Yeah, that one. They are a bit tougher than the gold ones. Before we approach the pyramid. There's also one other smaller door here. Let's see what it is. Another flame door right there. And that's all. Well, we got some Godot while we're here. Alright, now let's approach the pyramid. Hello. And one more button to press. Which is right here.
I have passed the first trial.
I mean, Mike's assuming there's like a trial going on here. I just would have assumed... It doesn't seem... I just would assume that the sisters just don't want him to get, you know, any further and get the Dark Souls. Because they're still attacking him. It's not like he passed the test and everything's fine now. Alright. Pyramid has been built. Before we go to the top, though... There are two Govi on the sides, and... I never thought you were supposed to be able to, but it does seem like you can make this jump. Just barely. You have to jump just at the edge. I feel that's probably not intentional, but you can do it. And get an early Dark Soul that maybe you weren't supposed to get quite yet. The other one, on the other side, I don't think I've ever gotten it. But this one I have gotten before. There we go.
Dark Souls are mine.
That leaves 9 left in the temple. I think the way you're supposed to get here is by using that altar with the baton. Like, you would have approached the other altar, used it to teleport there, then from there jump to this platform. I don't want to use the baton on that altar because I do believe it leads to a place where I will die. Like maybe in the middle of lava or something. So it does seem like you're only supposed to be able to get that Dark Soul a good deal later on. But you can get it now. The one on the other platform over there, we'll just wait until we get it the proper way. Maybe you can make that jump, but I don't think I have. And an easy to get Dark Soul right here. No jumping needed.
Dark Souls are mine.
And a teddy bear icon, so we can warp back here anytime we want. Alright, second part of the Temple of Fire coming up. Oh, and here's one of these. We've seen this icon before, this mark. But we can't do anything with it at the moment. We just need to remember it's there. Just like with so many other locations of the game. Okay, down there's lava. Let's not touch the lava. More lava down there. The place is called the Temple of Fire, and there has not been any fire so far, but now there is. There's coals down there. And that does collapse, so yeah. If we walk over that, we can fall. Also, 1, 2, 3, 4 Govi on the walls. Gotta find our way to get to them. But first, we have, I guess you could call this a little mini-boss battle right here. As we step into this arena.
Got it.
With a curious thing hanging from the ceiling. Well, this is the main reason we came here to the Temple of Fire. This is what we need. But we're surrounded by coals and floating platforms, so let's try the jumps. Again, those platforms do sink into the coals when you stand on them, so be quick about jumping.
The sister's awake.
Yes, a third kind of sister has now awoke. A red one. The red one is tougher than the gold or purple. Flies around more, shoots a lot more shots. There's only one here. This does become a bit of a more common enemy, I think, as it goes on, which is why I'm saying it's only a mini-boss. There we go. Only the one. Well, this is what we're trying to get to in the center. It's like half of a ring, and the other half is up there. So let's keep pressing buttons until that comes down. It's also one of these fiery blocks right here. But we tried pushing one of those earlier in the game. We can't do it. It's too hot. But maybe that might change in a little bit. Also, a fiery ledge. We cannot shimmy. Shimmying is denied because it is too hot to hold that. Alright, the ring has been completed. Let's head over there and see what our prize is. What's changed might not be evident immediately, but Mike's arms are covered with red lines. He's got some special tattoos called gads. The prophecy mentioned something about the tattoos. There we go. The sacred marks given in trials by Le Sower. I don't know. Protection from the elemental fire. That he may grasp fire, yet feel no pain. That's what we have right now. We got the ability to touch fire. Let's try it out. There we go. So now we have our first mobility upgrade. Because...
The sister's awake.
Well, not because the sister's awake. That's just a consequence. But it's because we have been blocked so far by a few things. One of them being fire. But now we can touch fire. So we want to remember any parts that we've encountered where we were blocked by fire, such as by those fiery blocks, or anything else that required us to touch fire. And we would then be heading back there to see what we can get. For now, let's head up here. No, didn't get that one. Yeah, it is a Cadeau. Let's go get it. Here is a fiery ledge, no longer an obstacle. And here's one of the Govi of the 4 that we saw on the walls previously. Let's get this one.
Dark souls are mine.
Alright, so we did see in that mini-boss chamber, we did see a fiery ledge. We can shimmy along that now. It's over there. So this does not protect us against coals or lava, of course. This is just touching fire with our hands. Those other things will come later. And what do we find but a room full of fiery blocks?
Got it.
No problem now, of course. Only one of them actually really has anything behind it, which I think is this one. Hello. Or we might as well take a look behind all of them, you know, just for completionist's sake. There's a Govie on the other side of this wall. We cannot fit. I mean, Mike could totally fit through that. Look at Mike. He's so thin. He could totally work his way through that, but he is not going to. Rather, we're going to get this one here.
Dark souls are mine.
Basically, the idea of this room is that the path to that Dark Soul's behind one of the blocks, but there are many blocks to push, and what happens if you push the wrong block? You get hello. You get greeted. There you go. And so you just keep open. Oh, well, we got a Cadeau, so I mean, there might be some Cadeau behind these blocks. They're worth pushing just for that. Gotta build up our stockpile of Cadeau again. Alright, those are all the blocks. Now, I think that's all we can get from this side of the temple as of right now. Obviously, there are still more Dark Souls we haven't gotten. But that'll be for later. For right now, let's just work our way back to the first part of the temple. When we went up to the top of this temple, as I mentioned, there were two paths. We took one. Let's go up the other one. Unlike the first path, there are no doors for us to shoot with our gun. Not much on this path. Some pots to shoot. There's really only one door up here, though. Which didn't matter before, but it does matter more now. Because there's a fiery block. Let's push that out of the way with our new fireproof powers. And there's a hole in the wall. Leads outside the temple. Looks like we can see pieces of it here. Looks like someone blew up the wall, like from inside the temple, like with a bomb or something. And what do we find when we come out this way? But one of these doors. Unfortunately, we are still on level 3. We have not gotten enough Dark Souls to get to level 4. There are 6 Dark Souls left in the Temple of Fire. And of course, Dark Souls in previous areas that we have not gotten yet. So, this I believe, is now the first point in which forward progress stops. Because this is not the only level 4 door that we've seen. We've seen another one previously on the Pass of Shadow, and that one would take us further on into the world of Deadside. But now progress is stopped because we just don't have enough Dark Souls to reach level 4 and as such continue on through these doors. So what that means is now for the first time we're going to have to backtrack. I've been talking about how backtracking would be necessary, but now is the time when we have to do it. We've now gotten a new power-up, which lets us touch fire. So we want to think of any parts in the game that we've seen up to this point where we can touch fire, like with fiery blocks, fiery ledges, things like that. We want to go back to those places, go through them, see what we find, and see what Dark Souls we get, eventually getting to level 4, and thus allowing us to progress further on into the game. So, that means instead of going forward, we're now going to go back to some areas that we've been to before. And I'm trying to think. I don't think there's any reason to go see Nettie or Jaunty. I don't believe they would have anything new to say about, you know, what we've just done, about the sisters' temples. I mean, we can check. I don't think they do. I don't think they have any comments about this. Nettie, you want to check out my tattoos?
Okay, I got me a piece of L'Eclipse.
No. He's, this is the same thing we've seen before.
But I gotta have all
Nettie cannot do anything with only one piece.
Voodoo and bring on the shadow in this world.
She needs 3 pieces. Also, I noticed that Mike does not have his tattoos in live side. I guess they are Deadside tattoos. They will only appear when he is Shadow Man. And I don't think Jaunty has anything new to say either. Jaunty, do you want to check out the tats? They're pretty sweet. No? He doesn't want to check them out. He does not. Okay. So they don't have anything new to say. Forward progress has stopped until we can get enough Dark Souls to reach level 4. So next time, as we continue on with Shadow Man Remastered, we're going to revisit some areas and see what we could do now that we were not able to do before. As we continue on.